Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
This lady's career lasted for 6 decades. Norma Deloris Egstrom was known professionally as Peggy Lee. She was an American jazz and popular music singer, songwriter, and actress. She discusses her connection with Paul McCartney, also her giant hits, including Is That All There Is? She gave us an insight on what it's like to play the part of an alcoholic blues singer in Pete Kelly's Blues. She explains what was the toughest part of doing the film and what they offered her to help with the scenes. And you'll hear her secrets for weight loss.
And by now, you know I'm talking to Peggy Lee. Peggy, I could have gone on and on for hours about you.
Oh, I was really enjoying that, Bob. That's wonderful.
What a fantastic life you've had. It's really...
I have. I'm very grateful.
I know one of the movies that I'll never forget, of course, is Pete Kelly's Blues. You played the tragic alcoholic blues singer in there. Was that a real depressing role?
Very, very, because along the way I've seen singers like that who didn't achieve, any fame or status, and they got into an alcoholic problem. So I sort of patterned the role after that, and I always felt very sad for them because it was probably they started to drink because they were disappointed that they couldn't make it or something, I don't know exactly what their reasons were, but it was a kind of a composite picture of singers I had seen along the way.
Would you say that you enjoyed doing it, even though it was depressing?
Yes, I did. I certainly did, because it was a tremendous role. You can't often find one with such meaty things as being an alcoholic, being going insane and thinking you're 5 years old, retrogressing to you're 5, and singing while drunk. That was a very difficult thing to do.
I'll bet it was.
Because we had to pre-record that, and I had to put that all in sync, and then, of course, what that would mean, because the action had to go along with singing and out of tune and weaving around and so forth.
They wouldn't give you a couple of belts before either, huh?
No, as a matter of fact, that they offered me something to drink. I said, no, I'd never know if I was an actress or not. How would I know?
We have to talk about that loss of weight. That was a tremendous loss of weight for you in a short period of time. I know the women listening in this morning are wondering how you did it. Was it 50 pounds, wasn't it, in 3 months?
Yes, a little more than that, actually. And they don't want me to lose more because I'm 5'6" without my shoes, and I wear 3-inch heels that make me 5'9". That's tall enough, isn't it?
First of all, how did you gain that much weight?
Well, it was a glandular problem. That was one thing, and the other was a condition, not a disease, but a condition caused by many years on your feet in a rather confined position. So just standing, rehearsing, say, for example, for hours and hours on end. And the only thing they know to do with it is to have you lie down and put your feet up as often as you can.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And I lose weight that way.
I'll be darned. I've never heard of that.
Every once in a while, if I've had a strenuous schedule, I'll stay in bed for most of the day with my feet elevated quite a bit. And the circulation goes back to the vital organs.
We're on the air with Peggy Lee this morning, who's opening up at Lake Geneva tonight. Are you going to do the Paul McCartney song?
Oh, by all means.
Oh, great. I'm really anxious to hear that.
Anything. That's really one of the big thrills of my life, to become friends with Paul and Linda, and then to have such a nice thing. I didn't ask him to do that. He did that all on his own.
He wrote this song for you, and was this kind of a surprise thing? In other words, you met him, and then he said, listen, I've got a song for you, or did you know ahead of time that he was writing
I knew ahead of time because I called him and asked him to come to dinner, and he said, I'm writing a song for you, and it's almost finished.
Gee.
When they called to accept the dinner invitation. And later he said that he thought that was better than bringing a bottle of champagne.
It's a love song. It's called Let's Love. And does it have any message to it, or is it just a nice love song?
I think he's saying, I didn't ask him this, but I think it is a slightly deeper meaning than the beginning of the song. It's like that life is short. It's the flight of a butterfly, so let's love.
Was your biggest hit Fever? Was that the all-time?
I don't know, because Manana sold quite a few million. Fever and Lover, is that all there is?
Is that all there is? It's still getting a lot of play. Hear it all the time. What's the story behind that song?
Well, it was written by Lieber and Stoller, and they brought another song for me to sing, but I didn't like it, and I said, I like this one, and they kind of said, no, that's not for you, and I said, there's something there that I have to sing this. I had to examine my thoughts for a long time, though, because it seems altogether negative, but it isn't when you really look deeper. It's kind of like a riddle song, and I think it does depend upon how you take it. And that depends, life is like that, too. It can be a comedy or a tragedy.
Let's break out the booze and have a ball. If that's all there is.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Bond.